capitalism. Maybe stock market manipulation is your bag, or loan sharking, double identity theft, assassination, or even worse, swinging.
Period. Chilling with my man. Y'all know the vibes.
Wait. Where the fuck? Who the other two is?
Who the other two who?
You said my man. Who the other two
Darnell, don't
mans is?
start that. I'm talking about you.
You don't want to get fucked up in here.
I'm talking literally. What are you talking about?
I'll fight both of their ass. Where they at?
Who you talking about?
Where the other two mans at?
I'm only talking about you.
I thought you was faithful. How you gonna get other two mans? Who the other two boys is?
I'm only talking about you. My man. Only you.
Who the other two is?
Darnell.
Don't play with me up in here. Choke your ass out.
Period. Chilling with my man.
Hey, yo, black men, what's happening, man? Peace. Tell me what's goody, right? Now, I'm trying something new on my channel, you know what I'm saying? But you guys see Kentrell Morris, aka NBA Youngboy, right? You see him in the screenshot on the TV screen. And, you know, that video of Darnell, right, yelling at his girlfriend or whoever she is to that guy, right? I mentioned in one of my videos, you can tell these quote-unquote Pookies, these Tyrones, by how they speak, man. Tyrone doesn't have good grammar. See, listen, me being the average black man, I'm average height, average in looks. Black women will not let me get away with talking like Darnell. Listen, even stuttering, man. And sometimes I do stutter. Sometimes I do have a tongue tie. Sometimes, you know, I do trip up on words, but black women will not allow me to speak like Darnell. Darnell is stupid as fuck, but Darnell's probably 6'5", 250 pounds. You know what I'm saying? like I said, man, black women, they hyperfixate on genetics and stuff like that. But Darnell, Tyrone's, Pookies, they get certain passes that you as the average black man, you can't do that. Listen, unless you're a rapper, you don't have the right to speak like a dumbass. I'm saying, and not only a rapper, but a guy who has money and you're willing to spend that money. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're an athlete, Brittany Renner already said athletes are dumb. Listen, if you guys been around athletes, athletes are not the brightest guys. The teachers always gave these guys a pass because, you know, maybe he was in the upcoming football game against a school rival and they needed him to play. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was just so good at basketball. One guy popped in my head instantly, man. Listen, this guy, he spoke just like Darnell, but man, this guy was a freaking hooper, dude. Listen, I remember watching this guy play basketball at a rival game, and he easily dropped 40 points. He took the team into OT, and then he won. Game-winning shot. I'm like, wow, this guy is great. If I'm not mistaken, he's playing overseas basketball right now. But again, guys like that are allowed to speak like this, man. And again, Darnell, you can already tell, you know what I'm saying, something's not right in his brain. Maybe he's neurodivergent. Maybe he's spurgy. Maybe he's autistic. But again, Darnell, Tyrone's, Pookies, they are allowed to get away with this kind of stuff because black women give them that kind of pass. You as the average black man, non-select black man, hell no. H-E double hockey stick, no. So you as the average black man, when you go to school, listen, back in the day, people used to pick me to popcorn read back in school, man. Listen, I was never afraid to read because I'm one of the kids that can actually read. I'm one of the kids that can actually pronounce my words. I'm one of the kids that can actually formulate, you know, complete sentences and articulate myself, man. See, I don't have a problem with that. But again, black women, again, you know, as the average non-select black man, you're almost expected to be of a certain caliber. You know what I'm saying? Tyrone can be dumb as fuck. He has a pass. And again, I told you guys about how the plantation worked in the past. You know what I'm saying? I broke it down before, but if you haven't watched that video, let me just give you a quick rundown. The white man, he hyperfixated on guys who were just tall, you know, extremely strong, Greek godly build. And, you know, that kind of stuff got a pass, but you always realize that when you hyperfixate on warrior genetics, and people don't realize that intelligence, well, no, the white man realized it. but intelligence is the dominant gene, of course, you're gonna breed more guys like Kentrell Morris or whatever his last name is on my TV screen right here, right? You're gonna breed more guys like Darnell in that video. And again, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Certain things are always dead giveaways about these kind of guys, man. Again, I don't want to really get into it. It might hurt some feelings. But again, guys like this shouldn't be allowed to repopulate the black population because, like I said, if our IQ as a whole, as a collective, is already 85 IQ, again, is it every single person? No, because again, you have the black men who actually go to college and they become something. You actually have the people that go to listen. First of all, let me break that down. When it comes to test taking, the way how school is designed, there's a reason why there are multiple choice questions because that actually benefits certain demographics. Again, it's easier to show somebody, 1,000 multiple choice questions and over the course of what, 10, 15 years that you spend in school, you will automatically memorize certain things. So when there's a reason why, let's say you put a test in front of somebody, right, of certain demographics, and there are 5 multiple choice questions and 5 critical thinking questions. Sometimes you can look right at sometimes you can look right at a multiple choice question and automatically find an answer for it, especially if it's like math or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the process of elimination. If you actually know a formula, but you can't do the math properly, again, the closest answer is usually the right answer. And there's a reason why back in the day, teachers, right, they want you to show your work because they want to see how did you get the answer. But I'm telling you, after about 10 to 15 years of taking multiple choice questions, again, it benefits certain demographics. That's why you can actually find answers to questions without knowing how to explain it because it's like it's through memory or memorization, actually, right? Then when it comes to critical thinking questions, people can't explain themselves because they don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a high IQ take right there, man. People don't know how to explain themselves because, again, multiple choice questions actually benefit certain demographics. And it doesn't really, that's why most people who actually go to school and finish school, I'm not saying they're dumb, but I'm not saying they're the brightest people because, again, you can't really explain or show your work. That's why critical thinking always held more weight on tests compared to the multiple choice. If you couldn't answer certain amount of critical thinking questions, you automatically failed or at least barely passed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys like Darnell, listen, he was the kind of guy. Listen, you get points for spelling your name right. He barely got any points for that. You got guys like Darnell. I think I mentioned in one of my videos, man. Listen, I had teachers back in the day who would put like test grades on the board, or I'm sorry, test grades on the projector. And listen, Darnell, he always scored at the bottom of everybody in the classroom. Listen, oh my! But black women love these types. Again, he's talking about what she's talking about. My man, my man, my man. And this guy is so damn slow. Oh, who you talking about? Who you talking about? Who the other guys? Who the other guys? Yo, come on, Darnell. Are you slow? Probably. Are you stupid? Probably. Are you 75 IQ? Most likely. It's a high probability he is. But again, guys like Darnell, he's allowed to procreate. And sometimes I think with black women, right, they go for these like dumb kind of guys, these easily to manipulate kind of guys, these easy to control kind of guys, because like I said, with black women, it is a power trip kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you as the average, again, hold on. Let me say this, right? Guys like myself, the average black man, the non-select black man. See, growing up, right, I wasn't the most extroverted kid. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really speak too much. Growing up, I had a very, very thick accent. And I used to get made fun of for my accent, so I didn't really want to speak too much, right? So because I was kind of shy, I was introverted as a kid, and I've always been introverted my whole life. What it did was make me a very observant person. And one thing I realized about these like Darnell types, these Pookie, Tyrone type of guys. Like I said, it's a power control thing with black women because she knows that guys like myself, you think too much. You can think your way through what she's trying to set up for you, man, or plan for you. You know what I'm saying? Like black women don't like when you think too much. They want you to shut up and obey. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Jet Black because he mentioned something in one of the videos that he made. He said that there are two types of black boys when it comes to the classroom. You have the young black man who speaks too much and don't know anything, and on the opposite end of that, you have the young black boy who knows what's going on, but he doesn't speak too much. So within that section right there, right, black women already know the guys who think too much. Listen, dub him automatically. You know what I'm saying? Because when you can figure them out, they don't like that. Darnell, he has a hard time figuring them out. Darnell's gonna bump his head. Darnell's gonna go through the bullshit shit test. Darnell's gonna get violent and aggressive, and he's gonna really show his low IQ behavior. And that's what black women like because again, I feel like after the 400 years on a plantation, that's just what unfortunately our people are used to. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the western hemisphere of the world, that long period of just indoctrination is hardwired into you, bro. Like I said, the slave master said, if you implement my tactics for 1 year, you know what I'm saying? Implement it for 1 year, that it will be self-refueling. It will be an axis that turns on its own orbit. I'm sorry, it will be an orbit that turns on its own axis. It will be self-refueling, self-generating. It's a mental thing, bro. I think I broke it down in one of my videos. I might make a video really explaining it, but like I said, all it took was 1 year from 1712, right, to implement the tactics that he brought into the slavery world, on how to create the perfect slave. And from there, like I said, man, I think 1712 to 2012 was 300 years, if I'm not mistaken, if my math is correct. And now we're in 2025, bro. Come on. So Darnell types, Tyrone types, Pookie types, these guys were the bucks on the plantation. The buck, he doesn't think too much. Like I said before, all you have to do is utter the word sex, utter the word pussy, ass. Darnell brain shuts down and the penis becomes erect. You as the average non-select black man, it may still work like that in a sense, but you have more of a mental thought to question yourself. It's hard for Tyrones to question themselves because they act upon impulse versus you as a non-select black man and somebody like myself who's a thinker. Listen, you're gonna question everything. But like I said, man, it just goes to show the breakdown of what these guys really are. Again, I got multiple pictures of well, not multiple pictures, but I have a screenshot of NBA YoungBoy, King Von, and Dirk, Young Thug. Excuse me, guys like that. It's crazy to see how many times these guys go in and out of jail, in and out of jail. I think King Von has about 30, 31, 32 different mugshots. How the hell can you get arrested that many times and not sit in prison? It's crazy, right? Anyways, that's all I got to say for this one. Black man, I'm out. Peace.